Okay, we're down here with Rob, down here at Valle del Este, and we've got the Edel fitting kit here. And Rob's going to talk us through the putter fitting.
Yep, okay mate, so we'll get started. Usually we'd start with your putter, but you haven't got it with you, so this is my putter.
Yeah.
What I'm going to ask you to do is to the setup. We've got this screen set up here, we've got a laser coming out the front there, and basically what I'm going to ask you to do is try and aim this putter straight at the centre of that hole. Okay. And when you're ready and you think you're aiming straight, I'm going to remove the golf ball.
And it's got the
mirror on there.
Yeah.
So what will happen is you'll get this reflection on the screen, like this.
Okay.
You'll see where the putter's aiming.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you not to look. First couple of times, because if you look and you see, so just try and take your normal setup and tell me when you feel like you're aiming. Just don't look at the screen. Okay, move away and do it again. Okay, one more time. Okay. There was a bit of a pattern there, you saw hopefully on the screen. So again, one more time, just, you know, as genuine as you can with that aim, what you feel is square. Okay. That one's inside the cup on the left side.
Left edge of the hole.
Okay. We had a couple like there, Timo?
Yeah. Really? Wow.
Okay, let's see what changing head shapes does. Alright, so then what we would do is begin to work through some different head options. Okay. There's 3 different head options in this system. Then you've got different offset options in terms of how the shaft bends going into the head. And we've also got different line combinations that we can use as well. Okay, so you've got 3 heads here. So this would be called the more standard or blade shaped head. The E3. The E2 is more of a middle ground between what would be considered blade versus a sort of pure mallet. So it's got a little bit softer back on it, a little bit more rounded. A bit wider, yeah? Yeah. And then the third one is more of a pure mallet design, if you like, more of a half moon shape. Okay. Alright. Now, there's no right or wrong in any of this, it just through some trial and error and a little bit of understanding of what tends to affect what, we can start to move people's aim perception by changing head shape, offset, and combination of lines or dots. Okay, so I've guessed a couple of things here in terms of length and lie.
How long is your putter?
36.
Is it?
Yeah. Wow. 34.
I use a 34.
Okay. That has, you know, that influences the stuff that we were talking about
already.
Earlier.
That feels better already. Just the length, and you changed the line goal.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the putter's sitting now, flat to the floor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see immediately that's the first one we've sort of had that wasn't left of the hole. Yeah. That was nice. Try it again.
Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah. And slightly hard. We're starting to move the dot up the screen, which has some relevance on static loft. Okay. Yeah. So how you're.
So where should that dot be?
Well, it's difficult to say for sure because it depends how you then deliver the putter. Right. If you're changing that shaft lean during the stroke. Yeah. But you know, you were seeing on your SAM numbers how before you were sort of hitting down into the ground. Yeah. And some of that comes from your preference to have your hands sort of more forward. Yeah. So you're pushing this into the ground. Versus higher up the screen. Okay. Cool. Good. So I mean that shows very quickly how you can improve someone's aim. And then if we just change the head again, just mess around with a couple of options. Very complete kit, really. I mean it's. Lots of different options in here. I think I was told there was 20 million different putter combinations when you take into account all of the different line options that you can mess around with.
So these are all just different lengths?
Different length shafts,
up to 37?
Yeah. I mean, they'll make it any length you want, and you can split the difference. You can have 32.5, 33.5, whatever is necessary. Okay. But in terms of the kit, you've got the different lengths there. And different hosel options with different lie angles on all of them as well.
Wow. So what line would you put in?
I put the flattest one we've got in the box here for you, which is 68. Shaft, same hosel, same lie angle, just different head. Nice job. That's good. So using this little template we've got here, we can add a combination of lines.
So you're putting 3 at the top?
3 at the top to start with.
Yeah. Okay.
Now all of a sudden you notice how you have a little screen, it's changed your forward press simply by where you're focusing your attention on the line, on the putter. And if we took that away, okay, so now we've put the line on the back of the putter. We've taken away the top lines, we've just put one on the back.
Okay.
See how that changes things? If that changes things?
I'm used to having a line on the back here, so I'm hoping this is better. Okay.
Still down, yeah?
Yeah. That's left edge of the hole, that was.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it still was pretty straight.
Yeah. But higher.
But it was having more of an effect on the forward press again.
Putting 3 at the bottom.
Yeah, I was going to, really for the purpose of showing what it can do to change things, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you aim this pretty good without lines anyway, so I'd be more inclined to get rid of the lines in your case, but I'm just trying to use this opportunity to show that when you move lines or add lines, you can actually changes the perception.
Left. Wow.
And well into the ground again.
Yeah.
Well into the ground.
Wasn't it?
Just a dot in the centre there to give you a reference for the sweet spot.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Spot on.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable.
That's reasonably significant change there with the same head and just moving the lines around. So we haven't even begun to mess around with offsets and stuff like that.
That's unbelievable how that changes. Just changing, taking the lines out, putting them in, putting that dot on it.
The line thing
I prefer the look without the lines, to be honest.
I've seen, I would say, in my experience of doing this for a couple of years now, I'm amazed by how well people aim without any help from the lines that you would consider to be logical, but they often confuse people. And the minute you start adding lots of lines, as a rule, it definitely tends to throw people off. So
does it affect obviously the setup of the player if their eyes aren't over the putter head, or?
Well, the purpose of the way that this fitting works is it's trying to help the individual
fit into the individual
see or set up straight, because seldom do we set up straight. But we could spend a lot of time here messing around with different options, but what you see really is that every putter you're going to keep aiming slightly differently.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is find one that you can aim straight, and then we move into the sort of speed or the weight part of the fitting. So now we've got some offset going into the head there, whereas before we had a...
So what would that affect, Rob?
Again, it's going to affect the way that you see the putter head. It's going to change where your attention is as you look down at the putter, and consequently it's going to affect the aim, the way that you aim the putter.
Okay. Okay.
See how much higher that's gone on the screen?
Way higher, isn't it? Yeah. Wow. That's the offset.
Offset's changed the way that you're comfortable seeing the shaft, and therefore the way you position your hands.
Yeah. So I'm used to using an offset putter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, again, there's no right or wrong here, but what you'll start to appreciate is just picking a putter up, the likelihood of you really being able to aim that putter well is pretty slim. Because each detail of every putter you pick up is going to be changing the way that you're seeing it.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting way just to change offset.
Yeah.
Change your static
loft
by 4 or 5 degrees, probably.
At least,
So now we've gone the opposite of offset. We've now got onset or forward shaft. The head is forward of the shaft, rather than what's more conventional in putters is the offset that we just had.
I quite like that because you can see the whole of the blade. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. There's lots of examples where you're not seeing the whole of the face with regular putters. So you see again how that's immediately you're into the ground,
isn't it?
Because as you look down at that, you can see so much more of the loft of the face that you're inclined to move it
forward,
to try and get rid of some of that.
So I need the offset.
The offset certainly gave you better static loft.
Yeah, but it's obviously more important about impact.
It is, definitely. So a lot of this has to go in conjunction with your stroke, your tendencies, very much like what you're intending to do under pressure and where your miss would tend to be. So that shows the difference there in the offsets. And we didn't even try the third head. We've only tried those 2 heads. You're going to get better players, like yourself. You're going to get guys who can aim a lot of these different variations well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just one putter that we're looking for.
Yeah.
So it's then a combination of finding your preference in terms of head shape, if you have one. If you aim them all okay, then you've got a choice. But if you say to me, I like this head, but we can't aim this head. You know, we've struggled to aim this head, but you aim the other head well. I'd be moving into that one.
Of course, yeah.
But if you've got options, if you're good at aiming a couple of these, then we can start talking about what you prefer and getting into that conversation.
Okay.
All right, so now we'll move on to some speed control. We've got adjustable weights in the bottom of the head.
This is 12 gram. Okay.
It's the middle weight.
Yeah.
And then we're going to also add some weight to the grip.
Okay.
Just pop your hands on there for us a sec. Okay, take it off, that's fine. So, what I suggest we do now, take that. We're going to go through an exercise over here where we're going to hit some putts to different targets.
Okay.
10 foot, 20 foot, 30 foot. We've got the aim point speed chart or speed strip down here on the ground. And what that's going to help us to do is to develop different stroke timings for you.
Okay.
So we've got the green template gives us a faster tempo, where we have a shortest backswings for the 3 different distances out there.
Okay.
So the first backswing length
is for the first one.
is for the first target.
So you've got fast, medium, slow. Yeah.
Second backswing length, second target.
Yeah.
Third backswing length, third target.
Yeah.
And you'll see the green ones are very closely spaced together.
Yeah.
So they have to have the shortest stroke for each target, which needs the fastest rhythm.
Okay.
And then if you go the other end of the spectrum, we've got the slower strokes. We've got the 3 backswing lengths again, but you can see how they're much longer.
Yeah.
But in order to hit the ball the correct distances, your forward stroke timing is going to have to change. And as we go through this exercise, I'm going to be asking you about what you like the feel of, and changing the weighting of the putter to try and enhance your feel throughout.
So you put a weight in the grip?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that specific to the person?
Yes.
Or you measured where I put my
Definitely. We've already watched you putt a bit this morning. I've asked you some questions and you're leaning towards preferring a heavier feel and a slower stroke already.
Yeah.
So I'm using that as my start point really.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily start there with everybody. I might watch them hit some putts first and just get a grasp from how they feel they generate speed.
Yeah.
Talk to them about when they putt, whether they're aware of which hand or which part of their body is responsible for generating speed. And often people won't ever have thought of that, they won't know, but once you would just say to them, just notice where you're generating the speed from, they'll start to point towards a part of their body where they feel that's coming from. Okay. And then that can have a big influence on how we weight the putter. Because strokes that are where the speed's generated more from down the bottom tend to need sort of lighter putters. And then as a golfer moves up and starts to generate the speed more from the shoulders, higher up, heavier putter would tend to suit. The ball on the front of the mat here, and the putter blade on the black line here. Yep. We're going to just start by using the first target only. All right, so that's going to require this backswing in the first instance, where you take the loft or the face of the putter to the line. Face of the putter to the blue line, and then we'll still go to the same target. Face of the putter, the red line, we'll go to the same target. So hit maybe 3 putts with each colour. Okay.
So I'll start off with the
green. Let's do some green.
Took that a bit far.
You did. So I took it a bit far and it didn't reach.
Yeah.
Right. So then listen, you'll probably find very quickly where you're comfortable here.
Yeah. So that's not comfortable already. But
green line.
Yeah, I'm having to really force that.
Yes, that's gonna. I can see just watching your stroke there how you're very fast coming down, and that you've already described doesn't feel comfortable. You'd be uncomfortable trying to do that. Move to the blue one.
Okay.
That went past the blue
further,
one.
Yeah. Already that's better.
Good. Good backswing length. If the ball's finishing on the target, you're getting that forward stroke time about right. Okay.
Do you not doesn't just past or?
No, depends on the green speed really. These are a little bit slow to be honest, so this is fine.
Okay. A little bit further back.
Yeah, it was. But the rhythm, but the whole tempo looks a little bit tighter.
Yeah. Nice.
don't know, says that. You see that straight away.
I actually think he's in between blue and red. Don't you think?
Yeah, I would say it's either red or in between. Lift that a little bit short, I think.
Okay, they're good.
Yeah.
So let's now hit some putts using the longer strokes.
Yeah, to the middle one now.
To the centre, target. Maybe do one on the green. I think.
Just to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gone further, hasn't it?
It did.
Yeah. I really struggle with this fast one.
And if you look at the shape, if you look at the chart,
Yeah.
you're literally taking the putter back the same distance.
Yeah.
To hit the ball 10 feet with this tempo.
Yeah.
And you got to hit it 20 feet with this tempo.
Yeah. Yeah. Does not feel comfortable. What should I do? One more with green, or?
You can move on. I think.
Yeah. Let's go medium.
Clear. That's not.
Doesn't work for me.
A little bit long red and blue.
Backstroke a bit long.
Bit long.
A bit long, yeah.
So just to there. Now.
Better in backstroke length.
This is fractionally uphill as well.
Okay.
So they might start to just pull up a foot short.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd rather do this on a much flatter putt.
Yeah.
I like the tempo of that though. I do like the fact that it almost looks like he's. I always think good putters look like they're slowing down through the ball.
Still think from blue the
Gonna try red.
starting point of the downswing is pretty fast. Yeah.
Try red.
I like that. Where he's almost stopped. Yeah. So again, just do the same exercise to the third backswing, third target.
Bit short. Does not feel comfortable at all. That.
Yeah. I think we can ditch that one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Gonna go medium.
Yeah. I'd expect it to just stop there.
Just because of the hill, yeah.
On that uphill bit.
Yeah. Bit long.
No, it was okay.
Any immediate preference on there?
Either blue or red's good for me. I would say probably in between. If I had to choose one, I'd probably go red. I don't feel like I have to accelerate as much.
In that case, I wouldn't mind seeing this with a bit more speed. A bit more weight in the handle.
Okay.
Do the same exercise again. Blue and green. Blue and red. Don't worry about it.
What, to the end or?
To all three.
All three, yeah. Okay, so you've got more weight in the handle here, Rob,
Yeah. So you just described your preference as being slower, longer, which generally matches a heavier handled putter.
Yeah.
So we'll just put a little bit more in there now to go through the same exercise and see if it's better or worse. We can take it back out if it's no good.
Okay.
But if more weight's more comfortable, we can leave it in there.
Cool. A little bit short, a tiny bit short, yeah.
Do that short one again, but to the red this time.
Okay, so we're going to go slow backswing to the first target.
one.
Yeah. That feels quite good now.
Yeah.
That does feel really
Go
good.
ahead. 2 or 3 more of those.
Wow,
for us.
just that one putt.
See the difference already in the difference between the blue and the red with the grouping.
Yeah. Just I don't know what it is, the timing or something. Just even to stop it there feels comfortable.
Feels?
I want to go past the blue.
You said?
Yeah, feels comfortable. Feels comfortable stopping it there and going through.
So that's the sort of tightness you want on the grouping.
Yeah.
If every time you're hitting the same backswing, you're able to hit the ball the same distance. You're developing that stroke timing.
Yeah.
Whereas the blues started to get a little more
Spaced out.
spaced out.
Yeah.
So now same again with the
Yeah. Okay, so going to the second target now.
yeah
With the blue.
backswing length is good.
A little short on it.
I thought it was pretty good from where I was standing.
No, a little short into
little
where the
short.
ball's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the length was good. Feels like I've got to force it a little bit more with this blue.
Oh, it's blue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that acceleration doesn't look so comfortable.
Just feels harder to control. It feels like you just got to force it a little bit extra.
Okay, you want to go?
See, there is a.
Want to go red?
Yeah. Feels good.
So,
Pretty good, yeah? Right, so to the end now, yeah?
Yeah, long one.
third target.
So
Long
blue.
blue, long red.
Okay. Fraction past.
Let's go red then.
Yeah. That's pretty good, isn't it? Feels right, the red, but obviously it could be because of the weight.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that fits you very nicely in terms of weight and speed control, which is what we're after.
Feels
But
comfortable.
let's take all the weight out and
Yep.
see how that changes. If you prefer it, fine. So no weight in the handle anymore, just more really back to how a regular putter would be weighted. Just literally you've got the shaft and the grip at this end.
Yeah.
The head's where most of the weight is now.
Okay. Do you want me to go through?
Yeah,
Each
let's
one again,
do green, blue and red for the first target.
Okay. It feels better, the fast one, because you've taken that weight out. But I don't like it, but it does feel better.
Okay.
So it's the right one.
Yeah, let's go to the other end now. Hit the red. The first target.
Okay.
Go green, first target again.
Doesn't feel comfortable, that. Okay.
How did the red feel with the light?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
But better or worse with the weight in, you think?
I prefer the weight.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I mean, second target.
Second target.
Second target.
No weight in the handle now.
Should I just do fast and slow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fast does feel better with this lighter handle, definitely.
It was a bit longer than the second green line.
Was it?
Still didn't reach.
Still, yeah. That's longer as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the forward stroke
I wanna-
needs to be much quicker than
Yeah.
that.
I want to
So you want to go longer.
keep
down.
going, yeah. I want to.
That didn't look nice.
That was not good, was it? That was beauty, if anything, wasn't it?
Okay, go red then.
Yeah. Even with the light putt there, still didn't feel great.
No.
Right. I think it's more consistent with these slower.
Yeah,
100%.
So visually it looks a lot more consistent.
Much better now. Okay, so summary, Rob, like I'm fascinated with how you fit the putter. Obviously the aiming was interesting to start with.
Yeah.
Looking at the lines on the back of the putter. I think for me it was a lot of it was to do with the loft as well. How you can change the hosel and the design of the head, the lines, and how that affected the loft of the putter. So
Yeah, how
struggled.
you position your hands, where you position the shaft relative to what you're seeing, and just by changing offsets or where the lines are, does that.
And then obviously moving on to the speed there, like I really like this. I've used this before with you, and I think it's really good. Just trying to get used to some sort of tempo for the stroke. I prefer medium to slow, or slow probably by the end of that. And how the weight in the handle affects that as well. So I think a lot of it does come down to the individual's sort of feel, preference.
For sure, for sure. You're trying to match someone's preference, but also watch what they do and see where they're at their best. And then you can weight the putter to that preference as well. You can make the putter fit the player, which is really what we're trying to do here, rather than just picking it up off the rack and sort of keeping your fingers crossed that it's the right one.
So what have you fitted for me here?
So we've got this is the E1 head, which is the high MOI or the mallet head. We've got 12 gram head weight, 1 dot on top,
like that.
no lines at all. The offset is the zero offset, so straight into the head. 68-degree lie angle, 34-inch, with I think we've got 100 grams in the handle of the Optivibe. This stuff. These weights we can move around, which we've got in here.
So you've just taken
one out. There's another one in there as well.
Yeah, I do prefer both of them.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So generally, when you move the weight up here into the top part of the putter, you're fitting it to that slower profile. Okay. So that's why you're enjoying the heavier putter, and then you're enjoying the longer stroke.
Good stuff. I enjoyed that.
Good. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Hello. Do that short one again, but to the red this time. Sorry. The red backstroke, which is
slow.
I know you
Just top one.
Sorry.
I did fast enough. Do you know what? I looked at that and thought it was red.
It's okay. We can cut that bit out. So, slow backswing to the first
Colourblind, eh?
target.
So between green and red, it's not easy for me.
You can read fast and slow though.
I can read, yeah. That's why I'm putting the ball there. Right.
You need a tee?
Edit that one. Edit that one.
No point.
Not enough weight forward there.